Welcome back, Truth Seeker. April 17th, 2019. Two of the top headlines this morning. Denver schools closed during search for armed 18-year-old infatuated with Columbine. And also the shooting of the former Peruvian president. Two stories related to shootings. And notice this headline right here. Almost 20 school districts closed while the FBI searches for an 18-year-old infatuated with Columbine. Isn't that funny? Because the anniversary of the Columbine shooting is April 20th, and that shooting happened in 1999, meaning this April 20th will be the 20-year anniversary. So we get 20 school districts closed 3 days prior to that anniversary. Again, the whole reason I figured out this code of letters and numbers and how the federal government operates is because of how in your face it is if you're not asleep. So let's go through this. Let's not forget that Columbine High School equals 99, like the year of the shooting incident, highly suspicious incident. Today, April 7th, 19, 4 plus 17 plus 19, it's a date with 40 numerology. Columbine equals 40. The other top headline is the shooting of Alan Garcia, the former Peruvian president, Alan Garcia 40. Again, you learn this code of letters and numbers, date numerology, you see through every single day in the news cycle. You see why the headlines come the day they do. Columbine's number was up today, so was Alan Garcia's. Today, April 17th, is the 107th day of the year. Using the alphabetic order, shooting equals 107. So 2 shooting headlines to start the day. Denver public schools and almost 20 other local school districts are closed Wednesday as authorities search for a Florida high school senior. Interesting how Columbine seniors and Stoneman Douglas seniors in Florida are campaigning together right now for gun control. What are the odds? Search for a Florida high school senior they describe as armed and infatuated with Columbine massacre, just days before the 20th anniversary of the attack. Local and federal officials are searching for 18-year-old Sol Pace, or Pice. She made credible but not specific threats after traveling from Miami to Denver on Monday night, said Dean Phillips, the special agent in charge of the Denver FBI office. The FBI is a criminal organization. Trust me, I know. They came to my door August 21st, 2018 and falsely accused me of doing something I'd never done in my life and then said they had the evidence. And I said, okay, show it to me. And then the agent fumbled through his phone, said, that's funny, I had it here, but I can't find it now. I'll be back. And I said, no, you won't, because you don't have any evidence. He emailed me later with something that wasn't what he accused me of. Anyway, I guarantee you this person doesn't even exist. This is the supposed suspect. First of all, this person looks a lot older than 18. Second of all, it's another blurry face with a green background. We see this a lot in these AI-generated images. And here's a recent article from CNN. Artificial intelligence. These people do not exist. The article's about how images are showing up all over the web of contrived people. That's exactly what they've been doing to us for years with these contrived news stories, these false flags, these hoaxes to instill fear. The whole purpose of government is to control you, to control your mind, and nothing controls people more than fear. The name of this woman, look at the name. Her name sums to 44. Like how Wednesday is the one day of the week that sums to 44. Like how shooting sums to 44. Like how this is the number used again and again and again in these false flag rituals. In case you're new here, you're going, wait a minute, shooting's 44 and 107? Yes. Shooting's 107 when you use the alphabetic order. Just A is 1 up to Z is 26, just using the alphabetic order. Shooting's 44 when you use the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So above S was 19. The numerology of 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So S becomes 1 here. O, the 15th letter. 1 plus 5 is 6. You see, you just make each letter a single digit number. T, the 20th letter. 2 plus 0 was 2. Then you add up the words. Shooting 44. April 17th, when written out, also sums to 193, the 44th prime. So what a day for shooting news. And our two top headlines, both shooting related. Almost 20 school districts are closed. And you can understand why they're saying almost 20, just right there. As Colorado braces for appointed anniversary Saturday, the 20th anniversary. I mean, they just couldn't put it more in your face. And come back up here to this emphasized phrase, infatuated. See how they emphasize that? Infatuated sums to 38. Like Colorado sums to 38. Colorado's the 38th state in order of statehood. Death has that gematria of 38 as well as 20. You know, that's the fear here. This person's armed and dangerous. We don't want more death on the anniversary of Columbine, a date remembered for the death. And something else I should point out, they said she's from Florida. Florida, in that same cipher, is 38. This is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. The 4 ciphers you want to know. The alphabetic order with numerology. That's where Colorado is also 38. That's where infatuated is 38. It's the most pure cipher. The reverse alphabetic order, meaning making Z1, counting back to A, is 26. And then the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, your 4 base ciphers. You learn these ciphers, you see right through the news headlines every single day. Further, today has a life lesson number of 33. You know, think of the recent mass shooting in Newtown 33, false flag 33, federal 33, police 33, masonry 33, secrecy 33, order 33. You have a federal investigation, a police manhunt, masonry running the show, masonry's headquarters in Washington, D.C., the city named after the Mason George Washington. This code of letters and numbers comes from Kabbalah, which masonry is based in. And if you're new here, Kabbalah, the Book of Formation, the opening paragraph says, God created the world by merging the letter with the number with the word. And this is how governments play God over us every single day, contriving news to control us. You know, there's no separation between the federal government and news. It might as well be the 4th branch of government, the propaganda arm, the steering arm. Let's go over a few other recent headlines. Again, don't forget this one right here. These people do not exist. This article is from February 28th, 2019. Here's another recent story from March 30th. Columbine students start campaign to share images of their death if they're killed in gun violence. This came right after the shooting in New Zealand on the Ides of March, which I told everybody to circle the date of. I said expect some New World Order propaganda on the Ides of March. Said that back in October of 2018 based on the propaganda we were getting then, because all of these stories are interconnected riddles. But this story about a young girl, supposedly a student at Columbine right now, started this campaign called Our Last Shot. She said she was inspired by the body of Emmett Till being shown and how that helped spur on the civil rights movement. The name of this girl at Columbine is Kaylee Tyner. Notice how her name has the same gematria as Emmett Till, 141. And speaking of 33, when you write out 33, has that gematria of 141. But I have a video on this if you want to go back and watch it. There's a few other interesting things about the campaign. Keep in mind, on the anniversary of the Dunblane massacre, which got gun rights taken away in the UK, you had this story out of Brazil. 2 gunmen inspired by Columbine massacre kill 8+ selves in Suzano, Sao Paulo, Brazil. And notice Columbine High School in the Jewish cipher 612, Dunblane massacre 612. So you get Columbine-inspired gunmen on the anniversary of the Dunblane massacre killing in Brazil. And in all these ciphers, 612. And if you haven't read my book, we talk about the history of shootings and 612. Case in point, from Dunblane to Sandy Hook was 6,120 days, 6120. From the Pulse nightclub shooting of June 12th 612 until the Stoneman Douglas shooting, both in Florida, was 612 days later. Valentine equals 612. The Stoneman Douglas shooting was on Valentine's Day. Police is also 612. And then from the Stoneman Douglas shooting to the next major Florida shooting was 6 months and 12 days later. That was the shooting at the Madden video game tournament in Jacksonville. This number's also shown up in several other places over the years in mass shootings. 612, a pattern written about in my book. But just look at how ritualistic this stuff is. On the anniversary of Dunblane. Shooters inspired by Columbine. In Brazil. And the name of the town that it happened in, Suzano, equals 96. Just like how Dunblane was in 96. Just like how Columbine was in Littleton, Colorado, which equals 96. See what's going on here? Freemason 96. This code Masonic. Freemasonry worldwide. That shooting was in the news just before the mass shooting in New Zealand at Christchurch, where supposedly the Stoneman Douglas students traveled to protest gun violence. And then right after that, you got the headline about the Stoneman Douglas student Sydney Aio committing suicide. Remember, they said the shooter in New Zealand was from Australia, which should remind you of Sydney. But look at this girl. Look how her name is. Sydney, and then AI. Then you got two more suicides. One at Stoneman Douglas and one at Sandy Hook. And if you missed my videos on that, go back and see. They're all interconnected rituals. By the way, this story broke on a date with 44 numerology, shooting 44. By the way, Alex Jones was made to do a deposition for the Sandy Hook shooting after a ruling on the 44th day of the year. And then the deposition was 44 days later. Always 44. By the way, here's your evidence of the shooting at Stoneman Douglas. Are you buying it? Does this look like evidence of a shooting? This was put out in the media as the laptop that was shot 3 times by the shooter Nicholas Cruz. I challenge anybody to shoot their laptop 3 times and see if it looks like this. Guarantee you it won't. And let us also not forget, the people who contrive these headlines every single day love to mock us. They said the majority of students killed at Stoneman Douglas were killed in room 1214, which is like the date of the Sandy Hook shooting, 12/14, December 14th. And they said the majority of those students killed were six of the students, the majority of them killed, or the largest amount of killing in a single space was in this room, 1214. And the 6 students killed in this class were in Holocaust Remembrance class. 6 killed in Holocaust Remembrance class. Think about it. It's about as obvious as 20 school districts closed for the 20-year anniversary of Columbine. And let me see. Let me see if I can help you out a little bit more. Do you guys remember this? The Google Doodle from July 4th, 4/7, when the Juno probe landed on Jupiter. Do you remember this? And Google made a nice Goy doodle for you. You know what a Goy is? July 4th, date that's written 4/7. July 4th, 2016, the date of this doodle, a date with 47 numerology, Goy 47. You know about this? You see how this stuff goes on every single day? Just the stuff that's put in front of our face that's meant to mock our existence that somehow we don't catch on to. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here was another recent shooting in Florida. Let me see if I got this here. Do you remember this? The recent shooting in Florida. They love to use Florida and Colorado. They just love these states. Do you remember this? The yoga shooting studio. A lot of people said, Zach, that's not Goy up in the window. That's just because the A's blocked out on yoga. I said, okay. Okay, yeah, you guys are right. You can't see the A because it's blocked out. But do you really think that they put up this shot by accident? This is the only shot that they showed as evidence of this shooting. You know? 2 dead, 5 wounded. Let's look at death again. Death. 25. 97, the 25th prime number. See how this goes? 38. Florida, 38. Colorado, 38. What was it? Infatuated, 38. So. There's a guy who made a video over the weekend, and he was criticizing my work. He said he can't believe that I think there's a hidden hand orchestrating all of this stuff by a numerical code. He watched my videos for 24 hours, and he came to the conclusion that all of this stuff is just the universe, that there's no hidden hand, that there's no agenda. This is just the way the world works. If you're in that camp, you know, I feel bad for you, to be perfectly honest. I've always said there's an organic side to this code. There absolutely is. It's mind-blowing as well. But if you don't think this stuff's being contrived, I mean, I don't know what to say other than I feel terrible for you. We need to wake up. We need to find our courage. We need to spread this knowledge. We need to stop this agenda. It's just sick. And if you missed my video on the former president's suicide attempt, be sure to check that out. I already put out that video. Until next time, Truth Seeker.